Hi,
That's what the problem was today.
to be honest, Dad, I totally disagree with you because yes, we did dominate the game, but we didn't win, did we? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Charlie Talks Football. We're here for Newcastle versus Brighton, between two teams, Dad, who I think are very evenly matched, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, Brighton's a really good team. They play really good football.
Aye.
I think since they've got the new manager and they play slightly differently, they get the ball forward a little bit
Yeah.
quicker and they're not as patient in the build-up. But certainly a really good team, and I'm sure they'll cause us problems. But
Yeah.
it's a game at home we should win.
Yeah, it is, but they've got dangerous players, of course. Yakuba Minta,
Yeah.
who unfortunately Newcastle had to sell due to PSR rules. He comes up against Newcastle today, and hopefully we can keep him quiet because he's a threat, isn't
Yeah, I mean, he's a player I would have liked to keep, but because of PSR, we had to sell
Yeah.
him. And he's got a good left foot. He's very direct. He's strong. He's skillful.
Quick.
There's one thing he needs to improve, though, is his final ball. When he
Yeah.
gets down the line, and that his final ball could be better. But he's a young lad, and he's a good player. And hopefully we can keep him quiet today.
But I think this could be a lot of goals, certainly, in this game, because these are two teams who like to progress the ball quickly up the pitch and play attacking football. What are your thoughts for the score today, Dad?
Well, both teams do play good football, but because Newcastle are at home, I'm going to say a 2-0 win to Newcastle, but you never know. But fingers crossed we can get the 3
I'm
points.
going to go for a 4-3 win in
Wow.
Newcastle. Lots of
That
goals.
would be an exciting
Let's
game.
see if that happens. But make sure to enjoy the video, guys.
Take it.
Take care.
Good luck, Lewis. All the best. Joe.
On.
Buena fortuna, Sandro.
So we've just gotten back from the game. It finishes Newcastle 0, Brighton 1. And in my opinion, Dad, I think it was not a very good performance from Newcastle at all. And I know we did dominate the game, but personally, in my opinion, I think Eddie Howe got the subs completely wrong. Taking Tonali off, I think, was the wrong decision. I think he was one of our best players today. Yes, he played in the international games for Italy, but personally, I still think it was the wrong decision because to me, he looked fully fit. But I've seen a lot of mixed opinion over social media. Some people think this is a positive result. But in my opinion, Dad, I think this was a really crucial game that we haven't managed to win.
Yeah, it's a game we expect to win at home, but to me, we dominated the game, especially the first half. The only thing that was missing was the end product, the finishing. Isaac went through, the keeper made a good save. Gordon had a few chances, and if we took those chances, we would have won the game. Just disappointing. It was purely the end product. Everything else was all right. I think for their goal, they played direct and they did a quick 1-2. And I agree, the defending was poor. Yeah, Livramento should have done better. Byrne was a bit out of position, and it was a disappointing goal because it was totally against the run of play.
Yeah, and Burns are too slow, unfortunately, isn't he?
Yeah, well, today I thought Byrne did some really good stuff today, but at times he was getting stuck in midfield, and he's not obviously a midfielder, but he was having to press the ball there, and sometimes he was getting himself out of position. But everything was all right apart from the finishing. That's what the problem was today.
To be honest, Dad, I totally disagree with you because yes, we did dominate the game, but we didn't win, did we? And we can't keep making the same excuses over and over again. We've got to be more ruthless if we want to get into a European place. Or potentially the Champions League. We've got to be winning these types of games. No disrespect to Brighton, that are a very good side. To be fair, they did defend quite well today, Dad. But I think Newcastle at times, I think the problem with Eddie Howe is that he doesn't actually have a plan B, because for me, when we went 1-0 down to Brighton, yes, although we had chances, but I thought Eddie Howe's substitutions were strange because not taking off Bruno until a lot later on in the game was really strange for me, because I thought that Bruno didn't actually have a good game. I know you might disagree with us on that, Dad, but I think, what
I
are your
thought Bruno
thoughts?
was one of our best players in the first half.
disagree.
In the first half, I thought he was. I thought he was the heartbeat of the team. I think he's travelled back from South America.
Yeah.
It's a long, long way to travel, and he's played for them. And also, Tonali's played twice for Italy, although his flight's a little bit a lot shorter. But you know, it's just, to me, it was purely the end product. That was the only thing missing today. Yeah. The first half were really impressive. We dominated the game. We passed the ball quickly. The movement was excellent. Second half, they had a bit more possession and were a bit better. They scored the breakaway goal in the first half, but it was purely just the finishing. That's all it was today.
Sorry, Dad, I disagree, because I just think the problem was one of the things I wanted to point out is the corners and the free kicks, because honestly I think Newcastle take one of the worst corners in the Premier League, because every single time Brighton had a corner, it actually nearly created a chance for them. But when Newcastle had corners, it just straight away went to a Brighton player and they headed it away. And I think that needs to be highlighted, guys, because I don't think anyone really notices that. And the fact that we can't put in a proper corner, I would possibly put blame on Eddie Howe and the coaching team for that.
I thought it was disappointing. I think we had a free kick, didn't we, in the last few minutes, and I think Longstaff took it, and there was a couple of times where I had set pieces and we didn't get past the first man. And for professional footballers, that's
but we've
really
got to sort it out, Dad.
We've got to improve that, and obviously we've got 3 tough games coming up. We've got Chelsea away in the league, we've got Chelsea at home in the cup, and then Arsenal at home. So 3 really tough games coming up. So hopefully we can get back to winning ways and take some points.
But one thing I wanted to say is I thought we were really, really predictable, in my opinion, Dad, because even though we dominated the ball, I remember saying that to my granddad, because I was at his house watching the game, but I remember saying to him, even though Newcastle dominated, I guarantee you that Brighton are going to hit us on the break and score. And it ended up happening. And I think I like Eddie Howe, so I don't want to sound like I am being like too harsh or anything, but I think he's got to take the blame for this, because for me the substitutions were not right for me as well. I think the formation wasn't right. I think that possibly should have been changed, because we're playing the same formation every single game, and teams who come up against Newcastle will know how to play against us because we're playing that same formation. And I think you saw what happened when we changed it and went to a different formation against Man City, and we played really, really well in that game. So I think Eddie Howe, sometimes one of his weaknesses is that he doesn't actually have a plan B. And like Pep Guardiola or other managers would change the formation. And I think we've got to be a bit more ruthless, because this was a game that was incredibly important, because, Dad, Brighton are going to be nearabouts where we want to be this season.
Yeah, you need to win your home games against a team like that, and sadly we're having today, but if we're finishing and being better, we would have. So just let us know your thoughts. What do you think of the game? We disagree.
Yeah, which is strange, really.
Yeah, we usually agree on stuff, but it's something, it's just difference of opinion. But we'll have to hopefully bounce back on Sunday away to Chelsea.
And I wanted to mention Isaac, Dad, because of course for me he wasn't fully fit, was he?
He didn't look 100%.
And Newcastle have got a problem, because we should have signed a striker in the summer and we didn't. And Wilson's always injured. I don't know what's going on.
We signed Asula, but I could understand why we signed Asula, because no striker's going to come in unless they're going to be sort of probably starting.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to get like someone who's still up and coming like Asula. So I can understand that, but Isaac today, there was a couple of times the ball broke in the box, and he normally would have been on his toes, and he wasn't. And then he's finished. The keeper made a good save, but you'd expect him to score that. He did get the ball out of his feet a couple of times and have a good shot, and the keeper saved it. But he didn't look 100% today.
Yeah, I agree.
But Wilson's again training, but not back in the squad yet.
Nice to see Miley on the bench.
Great to see Louis Miley back on the bench. That was really good to see. Didn't expect that, so great to see him on the bench.
But for me, guys, I think this is like a really poor result, and of course I want you guys to comment down below what are your thoughts, because like we were saying, me and my dad really disagree, and the fact that we disagree on this game says a lot. So do you think Eddie Howe got the subs wrong? Do you think Newcastle should have been more ruthless? And do you think my dad's maybe been a bit too kind to the Newcastle players? Because I think, of course, us Newcastle fans expect quite high standards, and the fact that we didn't get this win against this team who we're at home, so we should be getting a result. So it's really, really frustrating. But like my dad says, we've got to try and improve. But who would you put the blame on? Do you blame the players? Do you blame Eddie Howe? Personally, for me, I blame Eddie Howe, and something needs to change in the next few games, because even though Newcastle have been winning games, Dad, I don't think we've been playing to our full ability, which I'm sure you'll probably agree with.
But you know, if you don't score goals, you can't win games.
I know,
and we didn't score them today, and that was it. Everything else was
no.
there was a few
I
things
disagree.
wrong.
I massively disagree personally. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like as always, and get your comments down below. We really want to see your comments on this video. It finishes full time. Newcastle lose to Brighton, and I'll see you guys later.
Bye.